This is NHTV2, North Haven Government Television, a service of North Haven Community Television. The following program is brought to you through the support of the Town of North Haven.
Okay, welcome everyone to a Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for September 14th to 2020. My name is Vern Carlson, and I am the chairman of the commission. Before we get started, let me introduce our staff to you, which is our land use administrator is Alan Fredrickson, and somewhere there is our town engineer, Andy Bellavacqua, and our staff secretary, Pam Miller. She is also there. I'm going to, the way this works is we have two public hearings tonight, which certainly the public is invited to speak in respect to either one of those as they come up. And after that, it is site plans and deliberation, which there is no public input. At this point, I am going to turn the meeting over. I'm going to ask Jennifer Coppola, our town attorney, to join the meeting and to run the meeting and call the roll. So Jennifer, I'll send that over to you now.
Thank you. Again, this is Jennifer Coppola. I'm counsel to the commission. Just keep in mind that tonight's meeting is being held via Zoom video conference and conference call. The video conference link and the conference call dial-in were provided to the public in the agenda for tonight's meeting, as well as the notice of public hearings. Just a couple of important reminders, because the meeting is being recorded, and it's important that when each person speaks that you please note for the record your name and if you have any title. When it comes time for the commission to ask questions and make comments, I am going to call the roll, and I will call the roll again when the commission votes. Just a couple of other additional housekeeping items as well. All the meeting materials were uploaded to the town's website, and those meeting materials were placed on the Planning and Zoning Commission's page. Those materials will remain available during and after the meeting, and a recording will also post to the website as well. So we can get underway. If the secretary could please read the first public hearing item. Thank you.
Jennifer?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Jennifer, it's Vern. You want to you want to get the commissioners introduced here?
I didn't take the attendance. That's kind of important. Sure, yeah. I'll take the attendance. That's fine. Vern Carlson?
Here.
Richard Wilson?
Here.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili?
Here.
James Giletti?
Here.
Brian Cummings?
Here.
Joseph Salamini?
Here.
Roderick Williams? And Paul Wyman?
Here.
Thank you. Go ahead, Teresa.
Okay, public hearing number 20-19, subdivision application of Phil Brutes, applicant and owner for 6 lots relative to 15 Cottontail Lane, map 61, lot 108, plan entitled Brutes Subdivision, Sundown Place, 15 Cottontail Lane, North Haven, Connecticut, prepared by Nafis and Young Engineers, Inc., dated May 1, 2019. Scale 1 inch equals 30 feet, R20 zoning district.
Okay, Teresa, thank you very much. Is there someone here representing the applicant?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, can you see the map up on my screen here?
Yes.
Okay, this is, my name's David Nafis. I am a licensed professional engineer and land surveyor with Nafis and Young Engineers, 1355 Middletown Avenue in Northford, Connecticut. I'm here representing the Bruds family. I don't know how many of you were here, but about a year and a half ago, this plan came in and was approved through the wetlands and through planning and zoning. And since that time, the owner did not file the Mylar, so basically the subdivision lapsed. So basically, we're coming back in and asking to have it reapproved. A couple of the changes that we have made, we've gotten permission to narrow the road from 30 down to 26 foot wide. Then we added a few more comments that we received on Friday, not all of them, but we will take care of all of them. But we've added crosswalk hatching here at the beginning of sundown place, stop bar, stop sign. We're working on how to, with some legal documentation on how to handle the underground storage for the detention. We've added a stockpile area here on which is lot 1. Lot 1 and lot 5 are existing houses right now, and there are going to be 4 new houses. And we've done some changes with the sanitary sewer recommended by the town engineer. We've looked at the 2 rear lots, and we've changed the pipe sizes to accommodate a flatter slope to get more cover in those areas. But other than that, it's pretty much the same plan that was approved about a year and a half ago.
Okay. Have you, this is Vern Carlson speaking. Have you been before wetlands with this?
Yes, it was approved last month at wetlands.
Last month at wetlands. Okay.
Yes.
What, Andy, have you taken a look at those pipe sizes that they've changed? Andy?
Sorry, I was muted. No, I haven't seen this plan yet. This is brand new. My concerns on the sanitary sewer, really come from the plan that I reviewed originally did not have inverts on the sewer out in Cottontail Lane. And if you look at all the slopes of the pipes, everything's kind of minimal. And I was just concerned that, that they weren't going to be able to make the, match that invert. So I'd have to review this plan in detail just to see what changes have been made.
Yeah, well, I can kind of give you a quick synopsis. We took the 2 rear lots and we came off with an 8-inch pipe for this lateral and this lateral. And so we can lay them at 1%. We have about 4.5 feet of cover at the house as it's proposed. And that's using conservative elevation out here. If this, when we slide it down the pipe, it'll probably get even a little bit lower. We looked at these. We have these last 3, we have 5 or 6 feet to play with. So we should have plenty of cover for a 6-inch pipe at that point.
Okay. Yeah, and the bottom line even is if you can't even make it work for all the houses by gravity, you could always pump. So, it's not like this is a deal breaker by any means.
Yeah,
it's just got to work. That's all.
Yeah, Andy, are you comfortable with the pipe size there? Is there going to be enough slope there? Are you going to have to put a pump station in?
Yeah, again, Vern, I've not reviewed this plan in detail, but my first comment, which has to do with the sanitary sewer, it can always be made work with pumps. So, but I just want to make sure that what's on the plan has been verified and and is correct. So I will review the revised plan, after.
Yeah, but that doesn't. Excuse me. That doesn't make sense to me. Why would we review it? Andy, I'm not blaming you or questioning you. I'm not sure why we would vote to approve something without knowing that you're telling us it works.
Well, technically, it's not approved until the WPCA acts on it anyway. But
yeah, well, that's great. We don't talk to the WPCA.
But like I said, I'm confident that it will work. It's just a matter of whether 1 or 2 houses might have to have pump stations or not. And that really comes down to my review on that final plan. He's going to have to come in with individual site plans for each house, and we can deal with whether it's gravity or pump at that point. But the bottom line is I'm confident he can make it work. So that's really all that's important at this point.
Can I ask why was this plan not done a while ago? Why wasn't it given to the town engineer?
This is Alan Fredrickson. You're talking about this plan. I was wondering if you're asking about why it lapsed. I'm
No.
sorry.
That's fine. That's for the applicant.
Sorry.
This plan I think was prepared in response to my comments. So.
Okay. So
Yeah, we
I
took.
still have another question, but are you comfortable with us approving it and that you could manage it with whatever, if we approve it, I'm not saying that if we approve it, that you'd manage it with the information that you have?
Yes. Oh, yeah, most definitely. I'm confident they can make it work.
Okay. That's good. That's good, Andy.
Just if I could jump in as a housekeeping matter, Mr. Nafis, could you just make sure, if you have not already, that you do email the plan to Mr. Frederickson, because it does need to be uploaded to the town's website. Thank you.
Yeah, we made these plans, we got the comments on Friday, we made some changes just for the meeting so we can show you that we can handle these comments, but we'll have to get you all new plans as soon as, as we can. Well, we have some other comments to take care of, but nothing that was too major anyway.
This particular drawing, though, does need to get to Mr. Frederickson tomorrow at the latest, though. He does need to upload it. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Right. This is Vern speaking. Do you have any problems with the comments made by town engineer and land use?
Yeah.
We don't know. There's nothing we saw that was that we couldn't handle or address.
Okay.
I have another question, Vern.
Yes, by all means,
Letty. One of the things that you said early on is that you got permission to reduce the roadway from 30 feet to 26 feet. Permission from whom?
The police commissioner allowed that.
The police commissioner.
Jim, this is Alan Frederickson. The drawings that showed the reduced road width were sent to police chief and fire chief, and their comments indicate that they have no issue.
Well, that's not exactly true. That's not what the fire department says.
Well, I was going to get to that. The fire department, I included another document there where they're talking about the cul-de-sac as well.
Right.
Large enough to accommodate, which, again, they can do that. They may have to adjust things, but I'm not really sure if Andy looked at exactly what that diameter was.
Well, okay, but let's talk about that, because the NAFIS, you saw the fire chief's comment?
That one, I saw the one from the police chief. I did not see the one from the fire department.
Okay, but what it says is they're in an agreement with 26, provided it's large enough to allow our largest apparatus, which I assume is the hook and ladder truck, but that's what I assume, to turn around without backing up.
Okay.
Can that be accommodated? Is that
yes?
Enough?
Yes. What we can do is make the circle here at the. We just have to make the transition to circle. We just make the circle a little bigger in order to get it, because we had it on the previously approved plan was acceptable. We just shrunk it down a little bit for the pavement. We can certainly make the circle part of it go back to the bigger size if we have to accommodate that vehicle.
Well, how? Okay, but I'm concerned how this is going to happen. How's that going to happen? So, how big is the biggest apparatus? Do you know?
Usually, the vehicles are usually like an SU-30 is usually what we design for.
I don't know what that is. What is it?
Size vehicle. It's usually a truck that has a trailer. Has a pivot point in the middle. It's a 30-foot long vehicle.
And is that what our largest piece of apparatus is? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. Fire.
Usually that's the largest vehicle for most residential fire departments. But I can confirm that if that's the case, we can ask and see what the actual largest vehicle is. But SU-30 is usually a pretty standard size large fire truck.
Okay, well, okay, that's not a very comforting answer. Okay.
So either way, we can make the biggest thing is going to be the circle. We can, in the original one was fine. So if we have to go back to the original size circle that we had last year on the approved plan, we can certainly do that.
The difficulty I'm having is I don't like approving a plan that isn't the plan that we're going to be approving. You know, what we're looking at isn't going to be it. I've heard that from two ends now. So I kind of I'm uncomfortable with that. Just one guy, that's my reservation. Other than that, the plan looks fine to me. I want to make sure that we're accommodating the fire chief.
Up, Jim.
I'm sorry?
Vern, this is Vern. Jim, the plan looked okay to me until you just brought that up. And certainly, Alan, has anybody put for the radius turn on this cul-de-sac?
I'm not sure, Alan Frederickson, I'm not sure if Paul actually put the template on the plan or not. I think it was sort of a cover himself on that to make sure that it has that diameter. Again, I guess it makes sense that if it's the commission's prerogative to approve it, to just add that as a condition, that the fire chief be satisfied with the diameter of the cul-de-sac. I guess I do agree with Dave Nafis that the prior plan was signed off by the chief and there were no issues. I think the only reason he added the comment was because it was reduced slightly in the reduction of the road width.
Yeah, but Alan, what Vern just asked you is if somebody, either Andy or you, did the math to see if you could do what the chief was saying he needs to be done. That's what I understood what Vern just asked you.
Yeah, that's correct.
So no, Alan Frederickson, that's not what I do. Yeah, that's correct.
Okay,
no,
so then you did not. Andy, did you?
I did not drop a turning template on there.
Okay, so and I'm, again, a little uncomfortable if you're telling me to approve it and that satisfy the fire chief. How? What's the mechanism after this? I'm not looking to stop these people from doing this. I just want to make sure the fire chief said he wants to be sure that our largest piece of equipment can turn around without backing up. I want to be sure of that too. Who's going to tell me that's going to happen? And I'm not talking about the applicant. I mean of our professional staff.
Well, I would be expecting a revised plan with a turning template that shows the truck can make the turn. That's it.
Assuming Alan Frederickson, assuming it's the commission's prerogative to approve it again, to condition it that exactly the cul-de-sac have sufficient diameter to accommodate that, and they'll have to prove that. And we'll get acknowledgement from the fire chief on that. Again, if it's your prerogative.
Yeah, I like the idea of conditioning it, but I also have a question. If we make it wider, David, what does that do to sidewalks? What does that do to the trees that are there? What does it do to the landscaping plan?
Well, we had them on the last plan, so there is room. It does shrink down the snow shelf a little bit between the pavement and the sidewalk, but there should be sufficient enough room to get it in there. We're only talking about a couple feet all the way around. That's what we basically narrowed it down. 2 feet all the way around is basically what it was.
Okay, so the revised plan will show everything the way it's going to be as far as sidewalks and landscaping.
Yeah, like I said, like the previously approved plan had the full size radius before, and it had the trees and everything on there. We just reduced it a couple feet to try to save some pavement and save some costs on the roadway.
David, this is Brian Cummings. I have a question. Andrew's comment number 12, it refers to parking. And one of the things is, should it be restricted to one side of the road or limited altogether? Because taking that road down to 26 feet, if you had cars parking on both sides, that's not a lot of passage for a car to get through and for fire trucks also. What are we going to decide on that? Because that leaves that open too, along with Jim's comments about leaving things open. I think we're going to close these things. So what are we doing there?
I think the idea was to put signs along one side of the street and say no parking on this side of the street.
Okay.
So you can allow for, you can still get a car up and down if people want to park on the side of the road.
So is that decided?
Yes. Yeah, that was the comment. We said we just addressed all the comments. We can address all the comments that were in his letter.
Okay. Thank you.
This is Vern Carlson speaking. Brian, we've had many short cul-de-sacs that we've narrowed down to 24 feet, actually, in some cases, where they were able to get through okay. So as far as the 26 feet, I think that's okay. But certainly where Jim is talking about the radius there, the turning radius there, I presume that it will make it okay. I guess we'd have to make that a condition of approval if, in fact, we would approve this. Jim, what are you thinking of that?
Well, all right.
We can't hear you, Jim.
Yeah.
Unmute. Oops, sorry. I hit unmute, but I didn't unmute. I'm okay. I guess my question is really for Andy. Andy, if we approve it, but they have to show you that the largest piece of equipment can make the radius, you're comfortable with that?
Oh yeah, they just need to show me a drawing with the turning templates on. That's an easy thing for them to accomplish. And if the cul-de-sac, the bulb has got to get 2 feet, 4 feet, 6 feet bigger, it'll still fit on the site. I mean, I don't think there's going to be any issues with lot sizes or any of that kind of stuff. Setbacks. You're not talking about big changes, I wouldn't expect.
So how do you, and again, this is out of my own ignorance, how do you determine what the chief is talking about as the largest apparatus? Do you know?
I don't know offhand. It's probably their ladder truck, I would think.
Yeah, that's what I would guess too. But I mean, what I'm asking is, how are they going to show you that? That's just so they understand what you're going to be looking at and approving.
Okay, well, applicant needs to make a call to the fire department to find out what model of equipment they have, and then they need to use the appropriate turning template for that vehicle and show how it would drive through the cul-de-sac. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. I want to make sure happens. That's all.
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's not a problem, Jim. That's not a problem.
Then I'm good.
Yeah, okay, Andy, it's not a problem. Even if they had to open up the cul-de-sac a little bit, it wouldn't make any difference to the size of the lots or anything else as far as that goes.
Correct.
Yeah, so
you wouldn't be seeing huge changes in what they have. So,
what we're talking about here, I think is certainly very valid, but I think they can accomplish what we're looking for when Andy's overlooking this here. If they can't make it with this, if they had to open it up a little bit, he'd be right there to make sure it happens. Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with it, but I just have to say, and I'm not understanding the process a little bit, because the chief's comments were from July 13th. So I'm not sure why we don't know already that we could make this radius. So I don't know where they went to. I'm not saying Mr. Nafis had them, but the chief, Janishevsky, I always butcher his name, email is July 13th. So those comments have been around for a while. So I would have felt better if I was looking at it and said, okay, it says we didn't have this question. But I'm okay if Andy's okay.
If Andy's okay, Andy, you're good with it. So that's good. Anybody else have any questions? Any from the commission? No. Okay. Is there any public that would like to comment on this application? Anyone from the public in favor?
This is Jennifer Coppola, counsel to the commission. If you are muting yourself, you can press your mute button to unmute or press *6 to speak. Again, the chair is calling for comments from the public, as this is a public hearing. So please do unmute yourself if you are muted, again, by either pressing your mute button or pressing *6. Thank you.
Okay, does everybody have that? I guess so. No one is in favor, I'm assuming. Is there anybody in opposition to this application?
Good evening. My name is John Casarella. I live at 19 Cottontail Lane. I have no specific opposition, but I have to ask a question. In all that I've read, the property that will be part of the roadway sidewalk that will bump up against my property, I understand that will actually be afforded to lot number 6. Will they be? Who's going to maintain the grass as well as the snow removal of those sidewalks? Is that going to be part of the deed that goes with that property? Also, there's retention. There's all these drainage retentions. Are they also going to take care of those?
Well, now wait a minute. Could you explain to me exactly? You said lot number 6?
Lot number 6 on here.
Yep, this is Vern speaking, the chairman. I see lot number 6, but where are you in respect to that?
I'm on 19 Cottontail Lane, where he's got the little hand.
Okay, now I see it. Okay, very good.
So, like I said, his property will actually be up on mine, but it's afforded to lot number 6. They would have both the sidewalk as well as grass, which needs to be maintained. Again, I know that from the wetlands meeting that those type of maintenance will be part of the deed. I just want to ensure this, as well as some of the drainage retention, because otherwise we do get a lot of water around here.
Okay.
This is Jennifer Capola, counsel to the commission. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I didn't mean to interrupt you. We did receive a chat. It went to everyone and I apologize, but from Sanam Salati Yurzik. Is that correct, Alan? He is one of the developers, indicating that yes, they will. I'm one of the developers, so I'm assuming that, again, this developer is speaking of Mr. Casarella in response to your question of the individual who purchases lot number 6.
That is correct. Hi, everybody. My name is Sanam Salati Yurzik. I'm one of the developers. We are, my partner Adriana and I are looking to purchase this property, and we were actually hoping initially to eliminate that entire sidewalk to minimize, whoever the owner of lot 6 is, to minimize their maintenance, but we were not able to do so. So yes, it will be included in the deed that whoever purchases that home site is responsible for maintaining that strip.
Excuse me, for the record, can I have your name spelled, please?
Sure. Sanam, S-A-N-A-M. My last name is Yurzik, Y-U-R-C-Z-Y-K.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Brian Cummings. So if I understand it, the homeowner on lot number 6 is going to be responsible for probably about 800 feet of sidewalk to clear?
Unfortunately, yes.
Thank you.
Now, this is Vern Carlson speaking, the chairman. This is also the grass area there will be responsible for the mowing of that grass?
That is correct. Unless want to eliminate the sidewalk, we would be very happy to eliminate it on that side.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Ditto.
Okay.
Just for the record, that was Teresa Ranciato Ville and then Mr. Giletti. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone?
This is Jim Gillette again. Mr. Casarella, does that answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Okay, so you're satisfied?
Yes.
Vern Carlson. Okay, good. Is there anyone else who would like to ask any questions or opposition to this application? Okay, hearing none. I am going to close this public hearing. This public hearing be closed at this point, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Okay. Back over to you, Jen.
Okay. Do you want me to read the second application?
Yeah,
Public hearing?
Please.
Number P20-20S, special permit application and certificate of location as authorized by section 8.10.1 of Paul DiStefano, applicant, 336 State Street LLC, owner, relative to 336 State Street, map 34, lot 107, plan entitled Proposed Parcel Change in Use, prepared by Paul DiStefano, dated July 28, 2020, scale 1 inch equals 20 feet, PV 40, R20 zoning districts.
Okay. Thank you, Teresa. Is there anyone here to present the application?
Yeah, it's me, Paul DiStefano.
Vern, just before we get going, isn't there a site plan with this? Should we be doing both at the same time?
Yeah. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, Jim.
This is Jim Giletti.
P20-20.
You want me to read it?
The site plan, you can read that in this. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so P20-20 site plan application, Paul DiStefano applicant, 336 State Street LLC owner, relative to 336 State Street, map 34, lot 107, plan entitled Proposed Partial Change in Use, prepared by Paul DiStefano, dated July 28, 2020, scale 1H equals 20 feet, CB40/R12 zoning districts.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. Okay, is there someone representing the applicant?
Yeah, it's me, myself, Paul DiStefano.
Okay, Paul.
How you doing?
I'm very well. How you doing?
Good, thanks.
You step it up a little bit. I can hardly hear you.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, there's much better.
All right. So yeah, as you guys all have a copy of the site plan?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So basically, what I'm proposing here is to change a partial change in use of 336 State Street. It's changing approximately 5,000 square feet of that office space to a virtual golf space. In that space, it will consist of 6 rooms for virtual golfing, as well as a small lounge area and a small bar. Given the location, I thought it was a perfect fit. Given that there's a new brewery right across the street, there is J. Rue's down the street, the diner right there. There's just a lot of good things happening in that area, and I thought it would be a great business to add to North Haven. Also, given the fact that I do live a stone throw from the property, so you could certainly count on it being a well-developed business that's maintained. So, I mean, that's really it in a nutshell. The site plan was drawn up to accommodate as many parking spaces as possible that the existing lot would allow, as well as the existing grades. And, given the beautification of the building to date, like I said, I'm just looking to get as many parking spaces on there, bring in a nice new business to town, and, hopefully, get some good frontage from State Street there, and, make everybody on the commission happy, as well as, all residents of the town. So.
Yeah, Paul, this is Vern Carlson speaking.
Yep.
Are you planning to run this? Is this
yes.
thing yourself?
Yes.
You
Yep.
plan to be there and run it yourself?
Just the golf space, not the office space. No.
Okay. So the golf and the lounge, I should say.
Yep.
An 8-stool lounge there. Is
Yes.
that what you're planning?
Yes. Yep.
Bar, is this going to be a stand-up bar?
It's going to be, what do you mean? It's going to be at bar height. I believe it's 42 inches, 8 stools. Yep.
Yep.
Probably, a couple tables, 4 chairs per table, just in the little area up front. And there's going to be a small little, imitation putting green, as part of it up front. I won't be there day to day, but I will have eyes on it all the time. Like I said, given the vicinity of my house being not even a quarter mile away, I'll have eyes on it all the time.
Sure. You plan to own it. You plan to be the owner operator
Of the business, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Not the building. Yep.
You also planning to have a service bar there?
Yes.
Yeah. So there'll be a stand-up bar with 8 stools and a service bar to service whatever.
Yes.
There as well.
What'd you say?
Are you gonna have tables in there as well?
No, it's going to be a couple, like probably 3-4 tables, not many, small tables just for people to sit if they need to. Very few food options. And, you know, very basic, just to make the experience that much better.
Mm-hmm. Okay, what can you support as far as, since I'm not looking at the plan right now, what can you support for parking there?
We have 73 spaces. I think I could share the screen. We have 73 spaces, including we have 3 handicap spaces. We have 2 van spaces and 1 regular handicap space.
Well,
73 spaces total.
Yeah, it's certainly like it would. It sounds as though it'll support. Okay. Anyone from the commission have any questions?
Yeah, this is Teresa Ranciato-Vili. I have a question about one of the comments. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Just a comment on the drawing. It references a storage area in the back, but I don't see it on my drawing.
Yes. So, yeah, I believe that's probably in reference to the warehouse that's labeled on there. That is, in fact, it's mislabeled. That warehouse is a storage/garage.
Okay.
There was an ancillary. There was a structure at the rear of the building that has since been demolished.
Okay.
I believe a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
But besides that, no, that back part there where it says warehouse on the current plan, that's a storage garage area.
Okay, because one of the comments says that it's not permitted in the CD40 zoning district, and I'm not saying it's yours, but can staff comment on that?
This is Alan Frederickson. Storage is not allowed in the CB zone as a standalone use. In the past, the commission has permitted individual businesses to store things as a part of their particular use. For instance, Arch TV and Appliance has a certain storage component. So, okay, there's a retail store. There's a certain amount of storage that's associated with that. So that's fine. I made the comment because I didn't want the owner to have the sense that this could be rented out separately as a storage facility. So warehouse storage, whatever that is, that's the way our regulations consider it under storage. And I just wanted to make that point. So if there's a note that needs to go on the drawing or what have you, just to be clear for future potential tenants, I think that's what we should do.
Okay, no, I understand. This doesn't have anything to do really with this applicant.
Well, that's correct, yeah.
All right. Okay, well, that's it for me right now.
Okay.
Thank you. And yeah, just to add to what Alan was saying, I can speak on the owner's behalf, saying that will not be rented. I mean, that is going to be for storage for one of the office spaces, so that will not be rented individually.
This is Jim Giletti. Just on the storage issue, the bottom line I'm not that worried about what happens with that space. I just want there should be a note: no outside storage is allowed. Period. Correct.
Okay.
Nothing on this thing would allow outside storage.
Okay.
And can we put that on the plan, or make it a note or a condition of approval, whatever it is? That way we don't end up with stuff back there that we don't want.
Jim, this is Alan Frederickson. That note, you don't see that as one of my comments because the note's already on the drawing.
Okay, fair enough. Now, let me ask you a couple of questions. One is, and I apologize, I don't have the site plan with me. This is the problem, doing things by the site plan. Are there sidewalks on this parcel? I don't know.
Along the frontage, there are.
There is. Okay, great.
Yes.
Yep. And my last thing, and this sounds like a great thing. Could you just explain to me the virtual golf thing a little bit? How does it work? I've been to some virtual golf places, and I know that they've got some nationwide that are, I forget what they call them, but
the Top Golf
buildings. Yeah. So what is it that you're proposing?
So what I'm proposing is a very you know, I don't want it to be gimmicky. It's going to be a very classy place. You know, something where you walk in, you can go into a room with up to four people maximum.
Okay.
And you can literally, you know, you hit a ball into a screen.
To the screen.
Yeah. And you could play, you know, up to 20, courses around the world. Yeah. It's, so even, you know, and I hate to say this, but in this COVID world that we live in, to me, it's even more of an attraction because you're literally limiting yourself to a room with 3 other people that you're close to.
Right.
So it's somewhat of a more of attractive thing now once the course is shut down for winter.
Right.
Just, you know, like I said, just a new business to the town. We don't have one here yet. And I think it's up and coming kind of concept. So I was trying to get ahead of the curve a little bit. And I thought this would be a perfect area for one. So
okay. My only other question is that you're not getting. How is the building broken down? So you're not taking the whole building. Some of it is still office space, right?
Correct. There's about there's one. I believe there's 1, 2, 3, 4 other office suites in the building, and then the 5,000 square foot virtual golf space is just a 1-floor parcel on the right side. You know, portion of the building on the right side of the building.
Okay, so there is office on the other side of the building and on the first floor?
On the left side, yep.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thanks.
Sure, this is Richard Wilson. What are the hours going to be of the golf course?
They're going to vary depending on the time of season and then day of the week. You know, Friday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're probably looking at like a 8 a.m., 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then Monday through Thursday and Sunday, probably close at about 8, 9 p.m. You know, I still have to fine tune those, but I think I'm generally in the range from 9, 8 to 8, 9 to 9, somewhere along those lines.
Right.
Probably about 12 hours per day, 10 to 12 hours of opening per day.
Thank you.
Of course.
This is Teresa again, Ranciato Vili. Sorry. I'll wait till my phone stops ringing.
Okay, does anyone else have anything to say? Any questions there, Teresa? We'll give you a chance to get your phone.
Yeah, I'm good. Sorry. So I just have a question. I had the question about earlier. First, let me say I appreciate the owner sending us a letter about apologizing for doing work without permits. But the drainage system. So I see the comment there by you, Andy, or Alan. So do we know if the drainage is going to work now, or do they still need to do work? Do we need to put a condition or something on our what we decide to do?
Well, I can answer that, Andy Bevilacqua. I had asked for calculations. Calculations had not been provided. That had a bunch of information, I think, intended to address the comments that were issued. I did look at those calculations, and it seemed as though that the system that's designed should work just fine. Comply with the requirements that we have, which is that 1 inch of runoff from from newly paved impervious areas.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Andy, excuse me, this is Vern Carlson. Andy, it will handle it?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, I'm satisfied with the numbers that I saw.
Okay, good enough.
Thanks, Andy.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else from the commission have any questions? Okay. Hearing none. Let's go to the public. Anyone out there at the public want to speak in favor of this application? Anyone to speak in favor? Anyone in opposition? Hearing none. Going back to staff. Is there anything from staff further?
No, not that I'm aware of. Alan Frederickson.
Good enough. Then I'm going to close this public hearing. This public hearing is officially closed. Okay, Teresa. That closes the site plan and the special permit.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, would you please, would you step down to P-17, Nettleton, 37 Nettleton Avenue.
You want me to read that?
Excuse me. Yeah, we're past that.
Okay, so you want me to read that for you, Vern?
Yeah, I want you to read the next.
I'm sorry. Site plan P20-17, site plan application of 37 Nettleton LLC, applicant and owner relative to 37 Nettleton Avenue, map 11, lot 56. Plan entitled Executive Landscaping, 37 Nettleton Avenue, North Haven, Connecticut, prepared by Godfrey Hoffman Hodge, LLC, dated 3/7/2018, revised 7/7/2020. Scale 1 inch equals 40 feet, IL30 zoning district.
Okay. Teresa, is there anyone here to speak for the applicant?
Yes, Jim Rotundo here from Godfrey Hoffman.
Okay, sir. Go ahead.
I'm going to try to share my screen, and if not, I don't know if Andy's out there to give me a hand, but bear with me a second here. Do you see a site plan up there?
Yes, Jim.
Okay, good. Okay, again, my name is Jim Rotundo. I'm a licensed professional engineer with Godfrey Hoffman Hodge, with our offices located at 26 Broadway in North Haven. I'm representing the applicant, Executive Landscaping. Executive Landscaping is, as you know, they've been in business over 35 years. They've been at their present location at 37 Nettleton Avenue since 2011. There are currently 2 activities occurring on the property. Bay Crane is located to the rear of the site, back in this area. I-91 is to the top, Nettleton Avenue, town of North Haven property down to the bottom of your screen here. The Bay Crane portion, they lease from Executive Landscaping. It's essentially all impervious. They currently have a modular building they use as their office in this location, about 1,100 square feet. The Executive Landscaping business is located in the large building in the front here. This is the home of their corporate office. They also maintain their fleet vehicles, as well as store some small work equipment and job-related materials within that building. They're seeking approval for several operations on the site. The first consists of coloring of wood chips in this location. They do not manufacture wood chips here. They purchase them or they're brought in off jobs. They do the coloring of the wood chips on site. The finished product is then stored within bins on the site, which is the second operation seeking proposal, is bins for storage of materials, concrete modular blocks. The chips will be stored in there temporarily until they're used on various job sites as needed. Again, they also screen topsoil on the site. The topsoil will be also stored in these on a temporary basis until they're used on the projects. There's also modifications proposed in the northeast parking area. This is an existing parking area that they utilize. It does not conform to the current zoning regulations. So what they're proposing is a minor expansion. This will provide for 18 parking spaces, and now it'll bring it in conformance with the town's parking regulations. One of the comments that Alan has is to provide a fence along this property line here, along the edge of pavement, to keep cars from encroaching into the adjacent property. We're actually showing a 6-foot high chain link fence in that location. When I discussed the revised drawings with Alan, I did not communicate with him, but that's one of his review comments, and that is currently on the site plan. There is a small increase in impervious area associated with these improvements. We're handling that with the creation of several rain gardens down in this area here. In association with that, they currently park, there's some construction vehicles in that area. So we're just going to clean it up. We're going to stripe it and clean up that area a little bit. But that rain garden will handle the increase in runoff. In addition to the operations in the outside storage bins, the existing 1,100 square foot modular office for Bay Crane is going to be removed. They're proposing a new approximately 2,100 square foot modular office pretty much adjacent to where the current location is. We'll also be creating a new parking area for them consisting of 18 spaces for their use, including landscaped islands at each end of those parking spaces. We did submit revised drawings to staff based on the previous comments. I believe all the comments have been addressed with exception of one of the recommended conditions of approval by Alan, and that is the installation of a steel steps or steel stairway in this location here. There's mechanical equipment on top of the building that when they maintain it, they currently just climb up ladders, and it gets a little dicey when they're carrying tools up there. So they want to put in a 5-foot wide steel stairway up to the roof. It will be gated and locked to secure it, so people just can't go up onto the roof. Alan was looking for a little additional information on that at this time that the client or the applicant does not have, but we'd be willing to, keep that as a condition of approval, and we would get that information to Alan. I believe that would also have to be reviewed by the building department as well. That's about it. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
This is Vern Carlton speaking. I have been down to the site. It is to say the least, a busy site. You have a lot of stuff going on there. Alan, do you know exactly where he wants to put the stairs? Talking about those stairs, it seems as though it would be right in the middle of the yard. Am I wrong?
Well, Alan Frederickson, I see that the stair is shown on the plan.
Yes.
My concern is that the details for the stair, which have yet to be worked out, might lead it to become something that's much larger than what's depicted on the plan. So again, I know how these things work, and all of a sudden we've got something that's colossal on there. If it's just a stair and it's just, more or less in the position it's in now, it won't violate any setbacks. It won't interfere with any parking. It's fine. I just want to pin them down a little bit as to what the size of that would be, even if they've got to figure a little buffer in there and give just sort of an area that the stair would be worked out to stay within. That would be just fine.
Yeah, and that's what I was getting at. It seems like it'd be in the way of everything if it was too big.
Yeah, Alan Frederickson, it could be, but I don't think it will be. I think if we can just put some basic dimensions on the overall structure, I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
Paul Wyman, I have one question, and that's the treating of the, you're going to be using chemicals to treat that mulch. I just want to know if you're going to be putting insecticides and if you're going to be taking a proper care for that.
It's actually, I believe, an organic dye that is used on those. It's not a toxic material. This is Jim Rotundo. It's not a toxic material that's used to dye that mulch material.
Say again, would you say again what kind of dye is that you're actually using?
It's an environmentally friendly dye. It's not toxic. It doesn't contain any toxic materials.
Okay. You satisfied with that, Paul?
Yes, this is Paul Wyman, yes.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? Jim? Richie?
I'm good. No, I'm good for right now.
Okay. Staff?
I have no further questions.
Yeah, nothing on my end, Andy Bevilacqua.
You okay, Andy, with this?
I'm good.
Al, this is Jim Giletti. Alan, do we have to decide if the parking is okay? I thought I read there's a comment that, there's no really standard for landscapers. Is that?
That's absolutely correct, Alan Frederickson. Yeah. I don't know that you need to make it a part of your motion or what have you, but just as long as it kind of gets addressed. I didn't see any signs that the site was underparked, and there seemed to actually be a lot of extra space on the west side of the building, but just so long as the commission kind of acknowledges that they're comfortable with it, that's all.
Yeah, and that was kind of my point. It appeared to me there's plenty of parking, and I get it. There's nothing standard for landscapers, but I don't think a landscapers can end up having a whole lot of cars because of landscaping. So I'm satisfied with the parking you have.
Yeah, I think you're good there with that, Jim. I agree with you. I think it's good the way it stands. Is anyone else? Hearing none. Teresa, you're all set?
I am, Vern, thank you.
All right. Well, then we'll close this. Staff, you don't have anything else, do you?
No, sir. Alan Frederickson.
Okay. We'll close this site plan. Okay. We'll move forward here to P20-18. Teresa, you want to read that in? I'd like to read all these in just to put the way we're handling things here.
All right.
A little bit different than normally, but we'll get back hopefully one of these days.
One of these days, yes. P20-18, site plan application of CMM Property Management LLC, applicant and owner, relative to 342 Washington Avenue, map 85, lot 124. Plan entitled CMM Property Management LLC, 342 Washington Avenue, North Haven, Connecticut, prepared by Civil 1, dated 10th of March 2020, scale 1 inch equals 20 feet, CB 40/R12 zoning districts.
Okay, is there anyone here to speak for this application?
Yes, for the record, Brian Baker with Civil 1. Licensed engineer in the state of Connecticut. I'd like to share my screen and show you what we're doing here. Okay, so did everybody see that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. So this is actually a site plan. A previous version of this site plan was approved by your commission in September of 2017. This is the Shell Station and Fresco Market at 342 Washington Avenue. They come in for a building addition on the back of the building here, installation of a walk-in cooler, some modification to the parking and landscaping, new dumpster pad, some landscaping out in front. They got through the majority of those improvements and went to go get a bond release. And Alan had checked against the original site plans, and there were a few things that came up shy that we had to modify with this new plan. And I'll go over those with you. First and foremost, they had a landscaped island out here shown at the end of the building, at the end of these parking spaces. Someone had overlooked that that's where the fuel tanks are. and they need their access to these covers here on this concrete pad, so they could not install a landscape island on that end. So what we've done is pushed everything slightly to the east here, and we're putting the island in this area just to the east of the fuel pads, shifted the parking spaces over slightly. Dumpster pad is in the same location. They did have originally the handicap space in this area. Now that that's got to be moved, we shifted it over to the parking spaces north of the building. So you have the handicap space immediately north of the building with sidewalk access into the front of the building. The other thing that was noticed when they went out to view the site for bond release was they have a storage container out in the back here. And Alan made it clear that that is not acceptable from the commission's perspective, even though it's tucked in the back there. So they're proposing to remove that and replace it with a storage shed, a 10 by 24 storage shed adjacent to the dumpster pad in that area. Provide some additional landscaping around that. There's a thick vegetated buffer that exists right now along that property line, but I'll buffer it with or bump it up a little bit with 7 green giant arborvitaes in there. And there was also 4 trees through the site that were not installed as part of the original landscaping plan. So we're proposing to add those also. The dumpster pad is in, but the enclosure has not been installed yet. So that would be part of the finishing improvements. So original site plan had 12 parking spaces. We still have 12 parking spaces. With this modification, we can add the landscape island back in, finish off the landscaping, and replace that storage container with an appropriate storage shed in the back there. So relatively simple set of improvements. We got the memo from Alan and the recommendations on the conditions of approval, and I don't see any thing in here that we can certainly make these minor modifications, adding some wheel stops to parking spaces 8 and 9, extending the sidewalk to the property line down here in the southern corner. They put the sidewalk in, it looks like they're just maybe 1 or 2 panels shy of hitting the property line, so we'll have to add that in. And a modification to the zoning table to bump that up to 9%, which is what's actually out there now for building coverage. So with that, we'd certainly like to answer any questions that you might have on this site plan modification.
This is Vern Carlson speaking. Be honest with you, I think you covered very thoroughly. You covered just about every question that I had. It looks okay to me. Over to the commission. Does anyone on the commission have any questions? Anyone there like to speak? Richie?
No, I think he covered everything and is doing a nice job on it. Thank you.
Brian?
Thank you.
Brian, any questions?
No, Vern, that was a good job. Thank you.
Okay. How about you, Jim?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, and I just I think the site is well maintained. They got to do what they do. I don't have any questions about what they're proposing.
Yeah, it's a nice job that they're doing all around. Teresa?
No, I'm all set, Vern. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Okay, staff, do you have any questions, staff, at all? Okay.
Andy Bevilacqua, I just say that this came before me as a bond release originally. I think that was explained a little bit.
Right, yeah.
There was a number of things that weren't done correctly. So that's really where this plan comes in. I think they've hit all the pieces I was looking for, and I'm satisfied with what they've got at this point. The only other issue to bring up would be the bond. They have a $35,000 bond from the prior approval. I was just assuming we would just let that bond carry over into this new project, and to get it done, we can get into the release.
Okay, good enough. Thank you, Andy. Anything else anywhere? Okay, this public hearing is, this site plan application is closed. Teresa?
Okay, before we go into this, am I thinking there's a recusal, perhaps?
Say again?
That would be me.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is Alan Frederickson. But yeah, he should recuse, but he's not sitting anyway.
Okay, all right. Just wanted to make sure before I went into it. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right. P20-21, site plan application of Paul Wyman, applicant 11 Defco Park Road LLC, owner relative to 9-11 Defco Park Road, map 95, lot 20. Plan entitled Pavement Expansion, Summit Handling Systems, 9 through 11 Defco Park Road, North Haven, Connecticut, prepared by Mylona McBroom, dated July 31st, 2020. Scale 1 inch equals 20 feet, IL 80 zoning district.
Before we get going, and Jennifer, maybe you can answer this question, because I know Paul has an interest in this, and that's why he's recused himself. Under normal circumstances, although he is the actual applicant, so it's a little bit different. But if we were sitting at a table, he would have to not sit there. So what do you do with Zoom?
That's a good question, and one that I have not yet faced.
Yeah, right.
I think that.
Should I go to the back of the room?
Well, yeah.
The other thing you could do, Paul, is you could turn off your video.
Well, except that it's an oddball situation because he actually is the applicant, so I think he has to be there as the applicant.
So is someone from Mylona McBroom on for you, or are you going to present?
Yes. No.
Yes, this is Chris Hulk, licensed professional engineer. I'll be representing the applicant on this one.
Oh, I think he just mutes then, right? I mean,
yeah, that's
Right.
fine. Yep.
And yeah, step back there, Paul. We talked about this earlier, and you know, you can step back while they present your application, and there should be no problem whatsoever. Paul.
All right. Well, if everyone can hear me, this is Chris Hulk. I'm a licensed professional engineer here in the state of Connecticut. I work with Mylona McBroom, and I'll be representing the applicant on this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right. Can everybody see the PDF in front of me here?
Yeah.
Great. So this is the Summit Handling Systems. It will be a project for an expansion of the pavement at the building to kind of formalize some of their outdoor storage. The site is located at 9 through 11 Defco Park Road. To familiarize yourselves a little bit with that, that is kind of just to the north of the Amazon site. A couple of 100 feet to the east is Washington Avenue, and it's located in the Wharton Brook Industrial Center. The building was developed, I think it was in the late 50s, maybe early 60s, so it's been around for a while. It's located in an IL 80 zone. There is a private road that borders on the western side and wraps around to the southern side, and then the immediate butter to the east is the railway. So the area of work that we're actually going to be doing in is just in the southeastern corner, which is located kind of here. Currently, the area is grassed, and the applicant would like to formalize his outdoor storage and expand the paved area to improve his operations, but also to enclose the area with fencing due to some security issues where people will enter the site and throw things in the dumpsters and kind of be a nuisance, I guess I'd say. So to give you a little more idea of the site itself, here are some views from Defco Park Road. On the upper side here, you can see looking, I believe this is to the west on Defco, and the site is located to the left. It's kind of behind the vegetated tree area here, and it's actually set down from the roadway several feet, so it's pretty well screened. If you look at the lower picture here, you can get an idea of what the site is itself. It's obviously very well kept, manicured lawn with nice landscaping. Got the American flag there. So the site itself kind of acts as a buffer from the road from where the improvements are going to be in and of itself. So the proposed conditions, it's intended that the paved area in the southeastern corner will formalize the outdoor storage and improve the site security and the general site operations. To give you an idea of the site itself here is the area hatched in dark gray is the actual expansion area. The green line that's kind of shown around it, I'll try to zoom in here a little bit. Green area shown here is the actual location of the fencing. And then I put a picture on here just so you can have an idea of, you know, what the site is now. It's sort of a grassed area, not very well maintained, some gravel in there, and basically be taking that out, putting the pavement down, and putting a fence around it. The site, the amount of pavement we could actually put down is somewhat limited by easements that are located on the southern and eastern sides. Some of those are gas, some of those are high electrical wires, some of that's the railroad. So we're staying outside of the limits of the easements. And one of the things that allows it to do is that the vegetated buffer on the eastern side between the site and the railway is able to be maintained. So the proposed site plan, which I show here, is so the pavement area will be a little over 18,000, almost 19,000 square feet of new pavement area. However, this is not going to be an increase to the operations of the site. So they're not planning to do a building expansion. They're not planning to do any more of the outdoor storage than they currently do, but they want to formalize it to allow their operations to work more efficiently and to be enclosed with that fencing to have them a little bit more secured. The storm drainage on the site will make use of an infiltration system. The soils in this area are extremely sandy. We went out and did several test pits throughout the site and found the sand was basically located throughout this whole area. We did several permeability tests and found that there were very high permeability rates. So infiltration would be a great way to mitigate the increase in stormwater runoff here. As I said before, we're staying inside the easement areas, so the impact on the site itself will be fairly limited. The access to this storage area and the expanded pavement area will be through a main gate, kind of in line with the drive aisle. Let's see if I can highlight it a little bit here with my cursor. So the traffic will come basically through this location here and come straight into the paved area. That gate, I believe, is either a 15 or 20-foot wide gate. And then there will be a second access gate, a man gate, a 4 or 5 foot wide gate, more or less along the building to have so workers and people can visit the site without going through the main gate where the traffic is going to be going through. Obviously, we'll be installing appropriate sediment erosion controls with construction entrance pad, silt fence around the property. The majority of this area is going to be in a cut, so there shouldn't be any runoff leaving the site. We'll have inlet protection in all the catch basins so that we won't be having any materials getting in and potentially impacting the infiltration area. One thing I think I missed putting on the plan was a soil stockpile area that would be located in the fenced area as well. We don't have any issues with the conditions of approval that I had seen. A couple of things I just wanted to touch on from the comment letter that I had seen was in regards to sidewalks. So I'm going to scroll back up to the site. So the site is located in an industrial zone and there's no sidewalks anywhere around the area. You know, the site has been in operation, I think it's 50 or 60 years at this point, and it's really not a great spot to add sidewalks because they wouldn't really go anywhere. They wouldn't really service anyone. People that come here are driving or making deliveries. This is an industrial zone and not a residential area that's really going to be promoting parking. So I think we would ask that the commission waive the need to have any additional sidewalks or any sidewalks placed here. Just to further touch on that, you can see along the roadway here along DefPro that there's guardrail that runs along the majority of the property. It would be very difficult to try to install a sidewalk along there, and that would be, again, not really servicing anybody. The road itself is a cul-de-sac road, so even if you come onto the road, it doesn't actually lead anywhere. So we would ask commission to kind of waive that one. And the second one being landscaping. Right now, the site does a good job of keeping the lawn green, being a very nice area to come and visit if you do happen to be going to the area, much more so than a typical industrial zone property. There are mature trees that are throughout with nice landscape buffers. One of the items that we were looking at, and I'll go back to the site plan here, is if we were to try to put in new landscape islands at the end of the parking rows that are currently there, have been there for a long time, that would make the site operations pretty difficult, and they would honestly probably get run over and destroyed pretty quickly. There are large trucks that enter this site. I believe they're WB53s, maybe some 67s. So they are large trucks, and they require the turning radiuses to be the way that the site is kind of laid out now, so that if we were to put in islands, they would be constantly getting run over by trucks. I think the applicant has shown that they do a good job of keeping the site nice and well landscaped. So we would ask that the commission also waive that one, or at least give us some room for discussion about what the requirements might be. So in summary, we'll be expanding the paved area on the southeastern corner of the building. We'll be putting up a 6-foot high chain link fence, making use of stormwater infiltration, and really just trying to formalize some of the outdoor storage and better use the space for the site itself. With that, I think that concludes my presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay, this is Vern Carlson speaking. What was it you wanted to you wanted to waive the sidewalks, which I can certainly understand. There's a sidewalk in the entire complex. But what was the second one you were asking about? Where your cursor is right now?
Yep. So number on the letter that we received Friday. It says the commission needs to determine if any landscaping improvements will be required at this existing facility. So a lot of the times what I'll see on like a new development is that you're supposed to put landscape islands at the end of parking rows. Here, the way that the site operates, those islands, if they're at the ends of parking rows, you can kind of see, here to the left of these white, I guess those are vans maybe, this turning radius, those are all strategically placed because of the vehicles that are entering and exiting the site. So if we were to put landscape islands there, they would constantly be getting run over by large trucks, and would ultimately be a huge nuisance to the applicant. And I think that if they do a good job of keeping it well landscaped, so I guess the waiving would be including new islands in the existing paved areas.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. I could see exactly what the problem would be as you came in there. If there was islands there, it would be a problem. But fine. That's all.
Vern, you need to move closer. Can't hear you.
Okay, closer I'll get. I say that I can see exactly what it says about the when the trucks come in over the island, they would be running right over the islands if they put them islands in the end, as our regulations do require. But you could certainly put a few trees in, a few landscape trees around the building or in the front there, and do away with the island. I think the plan was presented pretty thoroughly, and I think he covered everything as far as I'm concerned in any event. But Teresa, you got any questions, or Jim, or Richie, or whoever?
I don't have any questions. This is Teresa. Thank
Jim?
you.
I have a couple. First of all, let me say that I went by the site. It's very well maintained. I don't really have any problems with much of this. I certainly understand wanting to put fence around. Security issues are a big issue. Now, this is a large increase in impervious surface. So, Andy, is everything that's been proposed okay for handling all the runoff? I mean, this is a big difference. And when I went to some of the training sessions, we're supposed to be trying to avoid increasing, pavement. But I understand why the applicant wants it. All I want to know is, are we going to be able to handle this? Is the plan as proposed sufficient to handle the runoff or whatever the impact of all that increase in impervious surface?
Yes. Yeah, the calculations all checked out. They've got a fairly significantly sized system. You can see that on the plan. It does take up quite a lot of space. They're putting quite a few infiltrators in. But the numbers check out. I went through all the calculations.
Okay, good. Let me ask you another question. Well, a couple. The grass is out in front, and again, the site looks very nice. Is there an irrigation system? Do you guys water it? What is there now? And Alan, with regard to those islands, like, this is an existing site plan. Do they because they're coming to do this, are they supposed to put in additional islands, whether we want to waive them or not? Is it something that our regulations call for? You gotta unmute yourself, Alan.
Alan.
Hold on, bear with me. Sorry, didn't realize I was muted. Alan Frederickson. The past practice of the commission has been exactly what you indicated, Jim. When there's an existing parking lot, it's been at the commission's discretion as to what they like to put in. If someone applied, I think this was 1963, and our regs were a little different. So there's a certain amount of updating, which has, the commission, I think, has always been reasonable with, depending on, again, kind of the scope of the improvements that are being put in. If someone were adding on, 40,000 square feet, I think you guys hit them for, a few more improvements. And I guess that's why I put the comment in. If there's something you like that seems reasonable, I agree with you. I think it's a well-maintained building. I can tell there is irrigation that's there. You couldn't get what they have without that.
It seemed that way to me too.
Yeah, exactly.
Down that lower site, that grass is very green, and it is there right now. It's very green. Okay, that answers that for me. I don't think that we got to add on for my 2 cents. And I think it would make the site much less usable. I've got a last question and then a last comment. My last question is, what are you going to put in this storage? And are there limitations on the storage now? This is an old site plan. Can they I see there's machinery back there of some kind. What is the storage for? Can I ask whoever the applicant representative is?
Yes, so this is Chris Hulk, again with Milo and McBroom. Yep. The things that get stored back there are forklifts. So, they get serviced on, they get new tires, things like that. And right now they're kind of all just jam-packed into one spot, which makes them hard to get to, hard to service. It makes the operations pretty difficult. In general, they're all located in the kind of where the building nook is, I guess you'd say. If you're looking at it, there's a section. They're all located there. This increased pavement area will allow those to kind of be spread out a little more and be accessed better. also improve some of the site circulation. So if one of those is getting picked up and leaving, or if a new delivery is coming to add something to the building, those circulation improvements would also service through these paved areas.
Okay, thank you. And my last is more of a comment. I understand the argument about sidewalks. The sidewalks to nowhere have not carried the day, but Defco Park, I think, has no sidewalks anywhere, nor is it going to, so I'm okay with waiving the sidewalks. That's it for me.
Rich?
So, hey, Vern, yeah, this is Rich Wilson. No, I'm happy with this site. I go up there once in a while just to look around, and this particular piece of property is very well maintained, and I'm sure they'll continue to do that. So I'm okay with it.
Okay. Teresa?
No, this is Teresa. I'm all set, Vern. Thank you.
Okay, very good. Staff?
No, I'm good. Alan Frederickson.
Okay.
Andy Bevilacqua, nothing further.
Okay. So we're okay with it. We're okay with all those. Okay, that'll close this site plan.
Great. Thank you.
So Paul, come back in. Thank you very much, folks. Okay, Teresa.
Yep. Site plan. This is P20-22. Site plan application of Naresh Kamal, applicant JH LLC owner, relative to 315 Washington Avenue, map 85, lot 3, plan entitled Site Plan Wash Gates / Vacuum Pads, prepared by Nafis and Young Engineers, dated June 25th, 2020, revised July 22nd, 2020, scale 1 inch equals 20 feet, IL 30 zoning district.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. Is there anyone here for the applicant?
Yes, this is Dave Nafis again, professional engineer and licensed land surveyor with Nafis and Young. I'm here representing Mark Kumal, who owns the car wash / oil change center. What Mr. Kumal, what he really would like to do with this application is he wants to install 5 vacuum stations at the back of his parking lot. In addition, he would like to, what he's looking to do is add 2 lanes with payment kiosks for people to enter the car wash. Currently, right now, there's an island right here, and then there's a pass through here for the car wash. This is the exit for people coming out of the oil change. They can go around the building and out. What he would like to do is maintain that same exit for people to go through and out, but he would also like to add 1 lane here with a payment kiosk and a 2nd lane with a payment kiosk, and also then add a pass through so people can come in and go and get their use the vacuums and then have a 1-way out this way. So when they come out of the car wash, they can loop back around and go in and use the vacuums and then leave. And it creates kind of a circular pattern. Currently on the site, there's some storage that Mr. Kumal says he's in the process of removing any storage on the site. He's looking to add some landscaping, mulch and stuff in this area. This area will be maintained grass with a few trees added here and a few more trees added in this area. He's got a current row of hedges here. We had received a letter from the town with some planning and zoning and some engineering comments, and none of those, although they have not been addressed, there's nothing that we see in there that we cannot address at this time. Pretty straightforward. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you.
This is Vern Carlson speaking. What hours does he keep actually at the car wash here?
I asked him that question because I saw the letter about the buggy flow, and he said 10 o'clock would be way beyond any time he would use. Usually it's around 8 p.m. would be like a maximum late opening at that point. And he said he would have no problems mixing up and shutting it down at that point.
Okay, fine. So we'll put in there that 10 p.m. He would shut down the vacuum stations there. Well, what time does he actually close the car wash?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock?
7.
Okay. Well, perhaps the.
Excuse me, this is Jennifer Capola for the record. Who responded to that?
Myself. Okay. Myself is Naresh Kamal. I'm the owner.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have any objection to what time you close off the vacuuming? You know, there was some problems in town. I don't think it'll be at your place as well, but there was concerns about the vacuuming. You know, late in the evening.
Oh, certainly we can turn them off. We can turn them off before 10 o'clock if you have to.
10 o'clock would be fine with you. Be automatic turn off. Okay.
Certainly. We can shut. We can shut it off.
Other than that, the site looks good to me. The commission, any questions?
Warren, this is Brian Cummings. I do have a question. As you're coming in, you have those 2 kiosks at the back end. What are people paying for there? Are those vacuums too, where people are going to stop and vacuum, or is that paying for the car wash?
No, there's no vacuum over there. Just a kiosk. They will pay and go. They go straight.
So you pay for your car wash there and go through then?
You pay for these 2 right here. You would pay for the car wash here.
Yep.
Then you'd go in, wait there. When they'd stop you here until you return. Then you go through the car wash. Then you have to loop back around and go through and use the vacuums here.
So there's no vacuums where the kiosks are?
No, no. The vacuums are these 5 right back here in the back of these stalls.
Okay, my concern was going to be for stacking for traffic if you're going to have somebody taking a half hour to vacuum their cars there, but thank you.
Okay, good enough.
Yeah, so this is Jim Giletti. So you're going to change the operation that you have now, because right now you go on, you get out of your car and you go pay inside, correct?
Right. Now they pay it inside, but we are trying to make it, because of all the pandemic and all that, we try to have a minimum exposure, minimum of contact with the person and all that. You know, we're just trying to make people pay over the kiosk and they wash and go.
So you would now pay at the kiosk, but stay in your car as you went through the car wash? Is that what's going to happen?
Certainly.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Just curious.
They do have a choice, though, if they want to get their car done, detailing and all that stuff.
Right.
They will bring it back. Yes. We have a detail station right there. You know, it's a detailing. Yes.
This is Vern Carlson speaking. That on your detailing there, that would be separate from the car wash itself, though.
Oh yeah. It has nothing to do with it. We only do take one.
Anything going through the car wash would be strictly exterior.
Yes.
Okay. Good enough. Anyone else?
This is Teresa. So I have a question. The livery vehicles that were parked on the property, are they still there?
No, they go. Sometimes if we have accounts with some livery services, they come, we do their detailing and the wash, and they take it as they get ready.
Okay, and the large storage container is still there?
It'll be gone. We have some stuff in there because we had to fix the car wash, so we had some storing some stuff. It will be gone. I already called them. They will remove it immediately.
Thank you.
No problem.
This is Paul Wyman. I have one question. Mark, you're going to be changing the whole operation, but you're going to be riding through the car wash now instead of getting out and going inside?
People have a choice, though. They can get out if they want to, but if they want to get their car vacuumed, then they have to get out. But the car vacuum is not going to be over there where the kiosks are.
Okay.
No.
So you're going to do away with Paul Wyman again. You're going to do away with the vacuuming that's right in front of where the car wash is now.
No, people have a choice, but we try not to do it over there. We will do it other location, maybe in the detailing center or in the back.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Anyone else? Anyone else? Any comments?
This is Vern. This is Rich Wilson.
Yes.
No,
sir.
I have no other comment. I think it's all right.
Okay, good enough. Staff?
Alan Frederickson, just was kind of wondering about the time frame on that container removal. If that's going to be gone before we sign off on the plan, I'm good with that.
Yeah, is that satisfactory with the applicant?
Certainly, yes. It'll be gone. I already called them.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That'll be gone out. Okay. Jim? Nothing else from Jim?
I'm good.
Okay. Very good, folks. Okay.
Okay. P20-23. Site plan application of Pat Munger Construction Company, Inc., applicant, Plastic Depot LLC owner, relative to 475 Washington Avenue, map 90, lot 15. Plan entitled Site Plan, Classic Depot, 475 Washington Avenue, North Haven, Connecticut. Grenalk, PE, dated 8/30/20. Scale 1 inch equals 20 feet, IL 30 zoning district.
Okay, is there someone here from Munger Construction, the applicant?
Yes. My name is Richard Grenalch. I'm with Munger Construction. I'm a professional engineer, and I'm representing Classic Depot. This is an application to modify what you had approved previously in application 16-04.
Sure.
Was a, sorry?
Yeah, excuse me. This is Vern Carlson, Chairman. If you could back up a little bit from your camera, I could only see your glasses there. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, a little bit.
That better?
Yes, that's better, much better.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I'm not too good at this Zoom stuff. I'm learning. The application is to modify the second phase of an application that you approved in 16-04 in March of 2016. In that application, we put on an addition to the rear of the existing building and asked for an approval and received approval for a 2,400 square foot second building that would be out closer to the street. The owner has asked that that building now be 3,000 square feet. And so we are here for a modification or a reapproval, whatever you want to call it, for the 3,000 square foot building. Now, the use of this building will be the owner's son-in-law owns a business where he owns the trailers that pull the trucks that pull the trailers for Amazon and FedEx and companies like that. He has a group of trucks, and he wants to store them in this building, and he wants to do minor repairs and servicing of the trucks in there. He doesn't plan on doing any outside work or have any outside customers other than to take care of his own trucks. He's probably only going to be using the building from like 8 to 5 days, although he might go a little bit over that at times since it's his own business. I want to mention at this point that in the letter to your commission from the police chief, he mentioned this particular application as having been involved in some way with an automatic vacuum station. That is not a thing. I think he just got the numbers mixed up on his application because we're not doing anything like that in this building.
Yeah, Alan Frederickson. Yeah, Rich, you're absolutely correct. It's just 384 State and 315 Washington that are at issue there.
Right. So we've provided for the storm drainage. We're putting all the rain leaders into a drainage system, and we're putting galleys in that will take the first inch of water as required. We're going to do some repaving of the existing driveway, as well as adding some paving that we need for access to this building and for additional parking for this building. We're going to be tying into the water and sewer lines that feed the back buildings. And We're providing parking for this building in front, although there will probably be no more than 1 or 2 employees. We'll have landscaping in the front and also whatever trees that and islands that the town requires. And basically, I've read the letters from planning office and from the town engineer, and we have no problems with the conditions that they have put forth in there. I'd be glad to answer any questions you might have.
This is Vern Carlson, the chairman. I looked at the site and I looked at your site plan actually, and the site itself. It looks well done. That's all I can tell you. Anyone else want to speak? I have no other questions for this application. Rich.
Hey, Vern.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Rich Wilson. No, I don't have any questions for him. I think it's all right.
Okay, Brian.
I just have one question, and it's Alan's comment letter I under 1, building heights for both buildings.
The building is going to be like a pre-engineered type building with a same roof pitch as on the existing building, which is 3 and 12, and the eave height of the building will be 18 feet, and the ridge, the highest point, will be 23 feet high.
Again, thank you, Brian Cummings.
Okay, Jim.
Get that on the drawing. Just trying to cover the town, cover the commission. But
is Jim there? Or,
Jim, you're muted.
Oh, sorry.
Well, Teresa, what about you?
Yeah, no, I got it. I apologize. I don't have the site plan in front of me. Are there sidewalks in front of the building along Washington Avenue?
We put them in 4 years ago when we had the approval for the rear addition. Okay. They are in there.
They're in there, yeah.
So this is the whole thing with this is to add 600 square feet to the building you're putting up in front. That's the only real change to this?
That's basically it. Maybe a little change in the parking, and right. We're going to repave the driveway and a few things like that. But basically, that's the only change.
Okay.
You're good, Jim? Yeah. Teresa?
Okay, hi. Teresa Ranciato Vili. I think I'm good. I just didn't understand what was said about doing repairs on something. Can you clarify that?
Certainly will. They're going to be doing, the tenant, which is the son-in-law of the owner, is going to be doing minor repairs, maybe changing tires, light bulbs, a little electrical. He might do oil changes, few items like that on his trucks to service them. Any major repair would be done off-site in some other location by probably, in a place that does that type of work. So this is going to be mostly a place for him to store his trucks inside and also to do any repair and service that he needs to do on them.
Okay, but no oil, no anything like that, no major repairs. So just
that's correct. No major repairs, definitely, and no work on vehicles for outside customers.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, there'll be no certificate of location for any such a thing as repairs there, Teresa. So, okay, anyone else? Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? Paul? Anyone else on the commission?
I'm good. I'm good.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair. I think Mr. Fredrickson, this is Jennifer Capola for the record. I think Mr. Fredrickson was trying to say something before, but we couldn't hear him.
Yep. Can we get him in now?
I'm sorry.
Alan, we're not hearing you.
Alan? Hello?
Can you? Does everyone hear me?
No. We're okay with you. We're looking for Alan Fredrickson.
Oh, okay.
You're very faint, Alan.
Not quite sure what happened. Is that a little better?
Yeah, you're
Much
okay.
better.
Okay, sorry about that. There is no certificate of location being requested, which would be a special permit. So if there's something that's needed down the road, that would have to be a separate special permit application.
Understood. If he was going to do a repair garage, understand.
Okay, no problem. Just clarifying. Thank you.
Okay. Are you good, Alan?
Yes, I am.
Okay. How about Andy? Andy, you look at the drainage calculations here?
Yeah, there wasn't any drainage calculations. So I guess my comment would be is as long as the applicant is okay with addressing my comments and can satisfy my concerns there, I'm good.
Okay, thank you.
We will address all the engineer's comments and in this new set of plan or corrected set of plans.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, with that being said, we'll close this dual site plan application. Teresa?
Number P-24, site plan application of Premier Car Center, applicant Fulton Forbes Incorporated, relative to 384 State Street, map 34, lot 97, plan entitled Proposed Self-Vacuum Stations, 384 State Street, North Haven, Connecticut, prepared by Godfrey Hoffman Hodge, LLC, dated 8/7/2020, scale 1 inch equals 40 feet, CB 40/R20 zoning districts.
Okay, thank you, Teresa. Is there someone here to speak for the applicant?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. Jim Rotundo here, licensed professional engineer with Godfrey Hoffman Hodge. I'd like to share my screen. Put up the site plan. Okay, is everybody seeing that?
No.
No.
No? Can you see the plan?
No, Jim.
No?
Not yet, Jim.
Let me try it again.
There you go.
How's that?
Yeah, you're getting there.
Yep. Yeah, it's up there, Jim.
Okay. Again, I'm representing the applicant here, Premier Car Center. The subject site is located at 384 State Street. It's located in the CD40 R20 zone. This is the zone line to the rear, to the front of all the R20 zone. The site consists of several uses. To the front here is a convenience store with gas station. If you may recall, earlier in the year, we were before you with a different applicant, CPD, who relocated some gas pumps, put in their new diesel dispensers, and did some cleanup of the site. That was earlier in the year. We're here tonight with the Premier Car Center, which is located to the rear of the site. They do wash and express lubes as well as detailing of vehicles. What they are proposing is the installation of 4 self-serve vacuum stations. This will require, the shaded area will be new pavement for these stations. People will enter, vehicles will enter the site from Washington Avenue, enter into the vacuum facilities, and as they exit, they could either enter one of these 2 lanes and into the car wash, or there's a bypass lane along the outside of perimeter of the site here, and vehicles could then leave the site. In addition to the vacuum facilities, we're also proposing to install a 4-foot high stockade fence along the perimeter of this drive area. In order to accommodate the new impervious pavement areas, we are proposing a subsurface stormwater chambers to collect and infiltrate the 1 inch of runoff from the new paved area. There is a yard drain which will collect the water and then convey it into that system. We've reviewed all the comments, and recommended conditions of approval provided by staff. We're basically in agreement with those and can provide revised drawings addressing those comments back to staff for their review. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, this is Vern Carlson speaking. What are the hours that you keep on that station?
Monday through Friday, they open at 8 a.m. and they close at 6 p.m. Saturday is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday is 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Okay, what's your intent to start keeping the vacuums open?
Excuse me?
You only fair to talk about that.
Can you repeat that? I didn't hear you.
I say, what's your intent on the hours for the vacuuming?
The vacuums will be open when the car wash is open. Other than that, they won't be operating.
They will be closed. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only question that I have in respect to this. Teresa or Jim or anyone on the commission?
Yeah, just following up on the time, the police chief mentioned it to us. So you have no problem if we just say as a requirement that no matter what is going on, the vacuum stations would not be open after 10 p.m.?
I'm not sure if the applicant is on right now, but I think he had represented to me that they are open during the hours of the car wash.
Yeah, I heard that, but the police was asking us to say that they're not going to have the vacuums operating after 10 p.m. So I'm just telling you, I think that's...
no, after 10 p.m., yeah. I don't think that would be any issue.
Okay, good. Because it's not going to be.
It's not going to be an issue.
Well, we're going to make it a condition.
Right. Okay.
Excuse me, Joe Farrell's trying to speak on this now.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a problem at all. 10 o'clock is not a problem at all.
Okay.
Thank you, Joe.
Very good. Thanks, Jim. Anyone else on the commission? Teresa? I don't want to miss anybody. Brian?
I'm okay. Thank you, Vern.
Yep. Okay. Staff, you got any questions on this?
Alan Frederickson, no.
No. Okay. Well, that'll close this site plan hearing. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay. I guess we'll move right along. I'll move right along to nothing under other. We have an extension here.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Change of use. Take a change of use now.
Yeah, I'd just like to address the extension.
Okay.
We're going to withdraw that as an agenda item. The request for the extension came in, I believe, on Wednesday or Thursday. We didn't have a whole lot of time. We quickly put it on the agenda. As it turns out, we looked more closely today at the two files, one for wetlands, one for P&Z, and you have already prior granted all the extensions you can grant on this.
Okay.
So that's how we did. You did everything you had to do. So anyway, I'm withdrawing that as a request.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So we'll go on to, do you want to go to the change of use if there's anyone here on 518 Clintonville Road?
Vern, that's a bond.
I mean 530 Washington Avenue. Is there anyone here for 530 Washington Avenue?
Yep.
Some service to a barber shop or?
Yes, so I'm Claudio Fernicola.
I can't see you at all.
Sorry. I'm in my living room. Let me move a little bit. Sorry, is that better?
It looks
better.
Yeah.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thanks.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm looking to just do a change of use to 530 Washington Avenue, from an office space to a barber shop.
You're moving from
319 Washington Avenue to 530 Washington Avenue.
Okay.
And 530 is the Dunkin' Donuts. Is that what the deal is? I don't know what that was. So this is going to go into the office space of the Dunkin' Donuts building on Upper Washington Avenue. You're going to put your barbershop in there?
Yeah.
And are there spaces to do that? Because they don't really use many spaces for the Dunkin' Donuts, right? How many spaces?
Oh, yeah. For parking spaces?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty of parking in the back, yeah.
Yeah, there's Jim. There's a lot of parking there.
Yeah, and I'm doing just appointments. I can only do appointments anyway, so it's just one person at a time.
Okay.
Are you making any changes to the building there, just out of curiosity?
No, nothing structural. No, nothing is nothing to the building. No.
Okay.
I mean, there might be some windows put in, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was asking about.
Okay, yeah, I think that's it. Just windows.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Anybody else have any questions?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Right. Thank you.
We have 268 Quinnipiac Avenue. It's in Mount Louise. Anybody here for that to speak in respect?
Yes.
You do?
My name is Elizabeth LaRock. Hello?
Yes. Okay.
Can you hear me?
We can see you. Sure.
We can't hear you.
You can't?
We
You
can't.
spell your last name.
LaRockque.
Thank you.
Okay, but you want to tell us what you're going to do?
So right now I have a food truck and I'm using this space as a commissary kitchen. Food truck slows down in the winter and I would like to open up a small takeout place. There's 12 parking spots. We're not going to change anything to the building.
We're going to be open 8 to 8.
We'll be open from 8 in the morning until 7 at night.
Are you going to have any tables inside or chairs?
No tables. I don't want tables. It'll be takeout.
Yeah.
There's no room for tables. There's going to be a counter and takeout. And I really think people would just call in and we'd even run it out or do delivery.
Well, I don't know.
No, this is, I'm
Teresa?
sorry. Yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
you have all the QVHD certificates.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's my only question. Thank you.
There's handicap parking. There's 12 spots.
I'm just curious. Is this the white house across the street from the gas station, or am I at the wrong place?
You're at the wrong place.
Okay.
Jim, it's the old Smitty's restaurant down there. Years ago, it was.
Oh, I was way off. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a little south of the fire station there.
Yeah. Okay. That's
the problem that I see with it is the parking places. Not that it's going to change it at the moment. Is backing out directly into Quinnipiac Avenue.
There's 4 spots in the front, and there's 5 spots on the side, and there's another 4 spots on the other sides.
With the backing.
With the backing. There's a place next door that does eyelashes already, and she usually takes up the front parking. And there's been no problem with people pulling in and out every day. I sit in here and do paperwork and watch them. So there's a huge space between the street. It's not a sidewalk, but there's a huge space between the street, so you could see to pull out.
Well, if we had a site plan, we could tell exactly what it is.
I didn't know I needed a site plan, or I was told I needed to change.
Wait a minute, I'm not saying you need a site plan. I'm just saying if there was a site plan, we would know. But I don't like the idea of the cars backing out into the street.
Yeah, this is Alan Frederickson. This is another one of those questions. They already have a food preparation business that's approved and actually was approved under a prior owner. and I guess Liz's company came in with the same use to do food preparation. So this is kind of somewhat of an expansion of that use, so to speak, knowing historically, as Vern observed, that Smitty's restaurant was in there quite some time ago, probably at least 10 years ago. But as far as a site plan, I spoke with Liz and said, why don't we try it? Bring your proposal before the commission and see if they think it's necessary. So, if you feel it's necessary, it's within your purview to require it. But if you don't think that it is, and that if you feel the site can accommodate it, then here it is before you, and it's your prerogative to approve it or not.
Well, I'm just speaking for what I observed there, and I'm just concerned about going from what it is to an expansion from no tables to one table.
No tables. It's
I
COVID. It's COVID right now, and I don't feel safe with tables in here, and there's no room for tables.
I think, Vern, this is Teresa. I think very much like the person at the car wash said, they're trying to make accommodations for COVID by going to coin operated. She's not asking for anything in the restaurant. It's takeout, and she's already operating there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm, for one, am not going to ask for a site plan for this.
Yeah, well, okay.
The other thing, Vern, if I understand what she's saying, is that what you're saying about worrying about cars backing out, already can go to the nail place and park in front and back out the way you're working, right? That can happen now.
Correct. I don't want to make this a party line vote, and nor am I going to. But I want you to be aware of what the situation is.
No, it's a small site. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
So, you should.
I don't have much of a problem.
I would just urge you, Alan Frederickson, if it is your prerogative to approve it, if it makes sense to the commission, to just note or limit it to no tables, takeout only, or what have you. And then if someone wanted to go, or if Liz wanted to expand at some point to a restaurant with tables and chairs, et cetera, I don't know, 2 years down the road, it would be clear that would require revisiting this and a reapplication made to the commission.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that, Teresa Ranciato-Vili.
And this is Jim Giletti. I can too. And I think she's telling us all she wants is takeout. So that would mean if you wanted to change that, you'd have to come back. So it'll make it a requirement.
I'll make it
okay with you.
It's good by me. What do you think there, Brian?
I have a question. Hey, Vern, this is Rich Wilson. I was just wondering, what kind of food? This is like pizza, sandwiches? It's
going to be called CT Chowder. And we're going to do chowder and seafood and burgers and a little expansion off of my food truck, because during the winter it slows down on my food truck, and I'm just trying to have another income for the winter time.
But I was just wondering, what kind of, I guess how fast the turnover somebody would be in that parking lot.
Oh, it would be quick. They'd call it in, and I'd even run it out to their food. I'd run their food outside.
10 minutes.
10 minute tops. I mean, I really don't want people hanging out in the parking lot, and I don't want anybody really in here during COVID.
It's not COVID forever.
No. All right.
What do you think? Okay there, Rich?
All right. Yeah.
Brian, what do you think?
I'm okay with that. We just, if changes occur, we're going to know changes.
Let them go to change the use for coming back if there is any change from this.
Right.
Is that satisfactory for you? Okay. Brian?
I'm good with that.
Anybody? You okay?
Wyman, I'm good with that.
Brian, I'm good with that.
Okay. Good enough. Okay, very good. Staff, do you have any further thing, miss?
Nope, I hope you come down and try our food. It's award-winning chowder, so.
Award-winning, huh?
Out of curiosity, what's the name of your food truck?
Get Stuffed is my food truck.
What is it?
Get Stuffed.
Get Stuffed. Okay.
I just got Connecticut Magazine nomination for best food truck, best chowder, best lobster roll, and best burger.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Where do you use it? Where do you bring your truck?
To the breweries. They can't be open without us, so I'm in high demand right now, but that's going to slow down, so.
Well, that's your spot?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, the governor has extended to February that requirement, and following that time, there will be a lot of changes that we'll have to make in terms of outdoor seating and I guess some small ones regarding food trucks. So
yes.
Okay. Okay, very good, miss.
Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, miss, very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll just move right along, folks. Take bond release so if we go into deliberation.
I'll make a motion. We go into deliberation.
Okay, can I have a second?
This is Rich Wilson. I'll second it.
Okay. Okay. First thing on the is the public hearing of the of Cottontail Lane. We heard about that, and well, we did make it with the condition that the turn-in radius be satisfactory for Andy to put on the turnabout there. It's up for discussion. Can I have a motion to approve?
Wait, I'll make a motion to approve this application with the condition that the turning radius be established as sufficient for the largest piece of equipment in North Haven.
Perfect. Can I have a second?
And of course, staff comments in addition.
Yeah. Staff comments is coming in a second.
Right.
Yep.
Brian,
second.
I'd make a second for that. This is Rich Wilson. I'd second it.
Okay. The motion's been made by Jim, and of course that goes with staff comments, most land use and town engineer comments. Can I have a motion in a second? Can I have?
Can I do the roll call, please, Mr. Chair?
Please. Yes.
Jennifer Capola for the record. Vern Carlson.
Yes.
Rich Wilson.
Yes.
Teresa Ranciano Vili.
Yes.
Jim Gilletti.
Yes.
Brian Cummings.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we move on to the second one, which would be the special permit for 336 State Street, which is the golf and the small bar, stand-up bar, and a service bar with a 5,000 square foot area.
Yes.
Can I get a motion to approve?
This is Teresa Ranciano Vili. I make a motion to approve with any applicable staff comments.
Okay, I have a motion to approve. Can I get a second?
I'll second that. This is Brian Cummings. Just want to make sure, we're just going with the special permit on this vote?
We are voting on the special permit, right?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve them. I'll make him second Teresa's motion.
Okay, so is there any further discussion? Okay, I have a motion and I have a second.
I'll call the roll. Jennifer Capola for the record. Vern Carlson?
Yes.
Rich Wilson?
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili?
Yes.
Jim Gilletti?
Yes.
Brian Cummings?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Okay. Let's skip down. Let's skip down to P2020, which would be the site plan for the same application. I would like to get a motion to approve the site plan.
This is Brian Cummings. I'll make that motion to approve P2020.
Okay. Can I get a second?
Teresa Ranciato-Vili, I'll second.
Okay. I have a motion and a second, and it's just all with staff's comments, both land use and town engineers. Is there any further discussion? Jennifer?
Vern Carlson?
Yes.
Rich Wilson?
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili?
Yes.
Jim Gilletti?
Yes.
And Brian Cummings?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're back.
Paul Wyman, Vern. Can I just, before you go on to the next one, maybe it's best I jump off here. So.
Yeah, you can step out.
I'm going to get off completely. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you,
Good night, Paul.
Bye, Paul.
Hi, Paul. Take it easy.
Okay. Well, we looked at this application of a P-20S, I guess that is. Am I on the right one here?
I think you're going back up to 37 Nettleton, P20-17.
Yes.
P20-17, 37 Nettleton.
Yep. Okay. That's where we want to be now. Okay. We, 27, can I, okay, this is, thank you so much. Can I get a motion to approve the P-17, it's the 37 Nettleton. We had talked about that, and I guess it's been discussed pretty well that there was a staircase that was concerned and a chain link fence and really much of that. We approved this once or twice before, and they dropped the ball with it, and now they're back with the same application. So I'd like to get a motion to approve.
This is Jim Gilletti. I'll make a motion to approve this site plan for 37 Nettleton.
Okay, could I get a second?
This is Rich Wilson. I'll second it.
Okay, any further discussion? Jennifer?
Okay, and that is with all staff comments as well, just for the record, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Vern Carlson?
Yes.
Rich Wilson?
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili?
Yes.
Jim Gilletti?
Yes.
Brian Cummings?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, we're on to 20-18, which is 342 Washington Avenue. It is this is where they want to put an addition on the back. It's the gas station. We had talked about where the short piece of sidewalk that they have to add. It looked very thorough to me. I would like to get a motion to approve as it was presented with staff's comment, the land use and town engineer.
This is Rich Wilson. I'd like to make a motion to approve 342 Washington Avenue.
Okay, can I get a second?
This is Brian Cummings. I'll second that motion.
Any further discussion? Jennifer?
Vern Carlson?
Yes.
Rich Wilson?
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili?
I don't know what she's doing.
I'm sorry, the dog. Yeah, yes. Aye.
Jim Gilletti?
Yes.
Brian Cummings?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, we're down to P-21, which is Paul Wyman, who has stepped out. We looked at this application up in Defco Park there, and it looked very nicely done to me. It was to waive the sidewalks and to change some of the site work, actually, what a site calls for the parking lot on those islands. Can I get a motion to approve?
Vern, this is Brian Cummings. I'll make the motion to approve with staff comments included.
Yep.
This is Teresa Ranciato-Vili. I'll second.
All right.
Let me just amend that a little bit. And Brian, so your motion is approve with the waiver of sidewalks. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and we're not going to require any further islands in the.
No.
Correct.
You got that in there?
I got that.
Thank you. You do have it? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Jim. Okay. I have a motion. I have a second. Jennifer?
Vern Carlson,
Yes.
Rich Wilson,
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili,
Yes.
Jim Gilletti,
Yes.
Brian Cummings.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. We are now down to P-2020, I guess it is.
2022, Mr. Chair, for
Just did
315
20.
Washington Ave.
Which one is it?
Second page.
P-2022, 315 Washington Ave.
Okay, the next page. Okay.
Doris, come on.
Thank you. Very good. 2022, correct. This is the vacuum that it looked, they want to put the vacuum cleaners in the vacuums up and back on Washington Avenue and change the islands, the queuing on the islands a little bit. And it looked fine to me. I'd like to get a motion to approve this with the shutdown of the vacuums no later than 10 p.m.
And if I might, to include a sentence regarding the container being gone prior to sign off.
Okay, we'll have that in there at this point.
If that's agreeable.
Part of the motion, and let me put staff, the land use administrator and town engineer's comments as well. Can I get that motion?
I'll make that motion with everything Bernard in there, especially turning the vacuums off by 10 o'clock.
Can I get a second?
I'll second that. This is Rich Wilson.
Okay. Jennifer?
Vern Carlson,
Yes.
Rich Wilson,
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili,
Yes.
Jim Gilletti,
Yes.
Brian Cummings.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, P-2023. Munger Construction, it's 475 Washington Avenue, where they want to put up an independent building on the front portion of that property. I'd like to get a motion to approve as it was presented.
Brian Cummings, I'll make that motion to approve.
With staff
comments.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili, I'll second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Jennifer?
Vern Carlson,
Yes.
Rich Wilson,
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili,
Yes.
Jim Gilletti,
Yes.
and Brian Cummings.
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Okay. We are on to P-2024. It's also a vacuum system on 384 State Street. I'd like to get a motion to approve it with a shutdown time at 10 o'clock, as same as the other.
This is Teresa Ranciato-Vili. I'll make a motion to approve with any pertinent staff comments.
Right. Okay, good. Can I get a second?
This is Jim Gilletti. I'll second it.
Okay, Jim Gilletti, second. Jennifer?
Vern Carlson,
Yes.
Rich Wilson,
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato-Vili,
Yes.
Jim Gilletti,
Yes.
Brian Cummings?
Yes.
Motion carries 5-0. Thank you.
Okay, we go down to bond releases. I guess we're down to 518 Clintonville Road.
Vern, let me ask one question before I'll make the motion. Andy, is everything done at 518? Nothing remains?
Yeah, everything's done. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll make a motion that we approve the release of the bond for 518 Clintonville Road.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Okay. Okay, we have a motion and a second. Jennifer?
And for the record, that's a release of a $95,000 bond. It's always a good idea to just say the amount. Vern Carlson.
Wait. Hang on.
Hold on 1 sec.
Yeah, we're talking about 518, right?
Yes. Oh.
$7,500 bond.
Oh, I have 1164 in my pile before 518. $7,500. Forgive me.
Correct.
Vern Carlson.
Yes.
Rich Wilson.
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato Vili.
Yes.
Jim Giletti.
Yes.
And Brian Cummings.
Yes. Are we out of deliberations?
I'm sorry?
Are we out of deliberations?
No.
No, we are still deliberating. You still have to do the 2 change of use as well as 1164 Hartford Turnpike.
Thank you.
Can I get a motion to approve the bond for 1164 Hartford Turnpike?
Oh, this is Teresa Ranciato Vili. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Andy?
Yes.
Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's done. There is still some soil stockpile that's out there on the remaining lot that they're still working. But it's not significant. They've taken most of that stuff out. But I've gone round and round with them several times. I was out there when they're doing the final paving on the road. The easements are all in place. The road has been turned over to the town officially and filed in land records. Everything looks good.
So what's the bond there?
$95,000. Now that was a subdivision included in Newtown Road. That's why it's so high.
Okay. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the release of the bond? Jim Giletti?
Me? Okay, that's fine. So let me just clarify something. So all the public improvements are done. That's what we hold bonds for, correct?
That is correct, yes.
Public improvements, regardless of the stockpile. That's fine. I'll make a motion to approve the release of the bond at 1164 Hartford Turnpike for $95,000.
And just for the record, the CO for that last house will not be issued until that stockpile is gone.
That's fine.
It'll have some teeth in it.
Yeah. Can I get a second on that, please?
So Vern, this is Rich Wilson. I'll second that.
Okay. Jennifer, I have a motion and a second.
Okay. Vern Carlson.
Yes.
Rich Wilson.
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato Vili.
Yes.
Jim Giletti.
Yes.
And Brian Cummings.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you. Okay, can I get a motion to approve 530 Washington Avenue from the barber that's going to move from one site up to the Dunkin' Donuts site?
Well,
this is Teresa. You need to move closer or speak louder. I can hardly hear you.
Okay, but in any event, I'll make a motion. It's really to approve a change of use at 530 from an office to a barber shop. So I'll make a motion. We approve that change of use.
Thank
This is Brian Cummings. I'll second that.
Okay, Jennifer?
Vern Carlson.
Yes.
Rich Wilson.
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato Vili.
Yes.
Jim Giletti.
Yes.
And Brian Cummings.
Yes.
Okay, the motion carries 5-0.
Get a motion to approve the change of use of 268 Quinnipiac Avenue with the understanding that if there anything further is done there, to be done and come back before the commission.
This is Teresa Ranciato Vili. I will make the motion to approve.
Okay.
For clarification, your council, again, you're approving it for takeout or curbside pickup only?
Only, yes.
Let me rephrase my motion.
With no
I make a
tables.
motion to approve with no indoor dining, with takeout only.
Good enough. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second it. Jim Giletti, I'll second it.
Okay. Jennifer?
Vern Carlson,
Yes.
Rich Wilson,
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato Vili,
Yes.
Jim Giletti,
Yes.
and Brian Cummings.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, Jennifer. Okay, what about the CEO report?
Well, should we, I want to talk about that briefly. Should we go out to deliberations?
Go ahead. No, stay.
You want to do the minutes?
Okay, yeah. I'll make a motion we approve. Was I there for that one?
Oh, no, you can't.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
This is Teresa Ranciato Vili. I make a motion to approve the minutes.
This is Brian Cummings. I'll second that motion to approve the minutes.
Jennifer? Jen?
Hey, I think just thinking back, Alan, who was sitting? Wasn't there an alternate that sat?
Yeah,
it was Rod Williams, but we can still approve them with.
Yes, we could approve with 4. That's fine. Yep. So Vern Carlson.
Yes.
Rich Wilson.
Yes.
Teresa Ranciato Vili.
Yes.
And Brian Cummings.
Yes.
Thank you.
Now, Jim, do you want to go out of deliberation here?
I just don't know to discuss the CEO report. Do we do it in deliberations? I don't care whether we do it or not.
Well,
I just had one issue that I think we need to talk, but I don't think it has to be in deliberations.
Okay. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
No, not a motion to adjourn. A motion
to leave deliberation.
You want to go out of? We're going to have to go back in. Okay, get a motion to go out of
No,
deliberation.
I don't think we'll have to go back in. But we can do it in deliberations.
Yeah, why don't we just stay in deliberations?
That's fine. I don't know why you have to go back in. That's fine.
You're technically, your deliberations have concluded. You don't technically need a motion. It's fine, Mr. Chair, if you just say the deliberations have concluded and undertake a discussion of the ZO report. That's fine.
Good.
That's what we'll do.
Jim, go ahead.
So, first of all, I appreciate the report. It was pretty comprehensive. There's a number of issues in town, but I think we're looking at them. My issue, which I've been bothering Laura about, is the list of students from Quinnipiac. And she put on there that, Quinnipiac, she made 2 comments, one of which bothered me, and that's that she got in touch with Quinnipiac and they didn't respond. And she said they're not due till the 20th, but the 20th is around the corner. And we've been down this road before. I'm very concerned. I've had several people call me swearing on a stack of Bibles that there are more than 3 Quinnipiac students living in properties in town. The only way we would know that is from information from Quinnipiac. I do not understand the lack of response by Quinnipiac, and I'm disturbed by it. Now, she said that she seemed to imply, Jennifer, that you would be in touch with Quinnipiac. Have you been?
I have not been yet because the deadline has not been reached, but when the deadline passes, I will be in touch with them, yes.
I don't know, why do we have to wait for the deadline to pass, before we say to them, hey, we need this list? Because
I know who to call. If you're asking me to call him, I will call him.
Well, either that, or my suggestion is if we get to the 21st, which is when it's late, I want to send them a cease and desist operating as a university. I want to get their attention. I don't know why they're not paying attention to our zoning enforcement officer. And we've had problems getting this list over and over again. I don't know why, but the 20th is what? Today's the 14th, 6 days from now. So
it's the 30th.
It's
okay, 30th.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
So then, but I think somebody should say to them, they haven't responded to our zoning enforcement officer, and it's due the 30th, not let's get in touch with them after they're already late. So I don't care if it's you, I don't care, but if Laura does it again, I want to do something if they ignore her. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Want Laura to get in touch with them.
Well, this is Teresa Ranciato-Vili. I have two things. Number one, I found another house that clearly has Quinnipiac students on Blakesley. 5 cars in the front yard, all with different license plates. I'll call Laura about that one tomorrow. But the bigger thing is, I don't understand, and I want to know if we can change the date we want this report, because I own houses where I have Yale students. Nobody waits until September until they have people living in their homes and rentals. Okay, rentals start June, July, maybe August 1st. So by us waiting till the end of September, the people are already living in those homes. And then we have to go through trying to get rid of them. And it never happens. So I would propose that we change the date that we want this report to come to us. Now, I don't know if we can, but I would like this report by the latest, maybe July 30th.
The difficulty may be, they keep telling me it's part of our approval. I haven't seen it. I kind of asked Laura to get that, or actually I think I asked Alan. Is it part of the approval? Is it written that part of the approval is the 30th?
It is, and I think there were, I'm sorry, Alan Fredrickson, in just going down memory lane on this, with my apologies, I think there was some question about, it was a special permit approval.
Right.
But I think we wanted them to be agreeable to that date. My recollection of the discussion was that this is off-campus housing, so they don't have those locations until after the students arrive on campus.
I don't think that's true.
That's not true, Alan.
That was the discussion. And
that doesn't make sense. They got to register with an address. They got to register for classes. They don't register for classes after they've already gotten on campus.
Well, I think that was the issue, that they didn't have that information at a time. And that's all I can say. It's not my application. It's not my,
we know
my issue.
We know what we got to do here, Alan. So.
Well, this is Teresa Ranciato-Vili again. So Jennifer, if they're in violation, which I know I don't know if they will be. If they are, does that give us the leeway to go back and say, listen, we're going to change the date we want this information? Or can we just go back and change it? Because it just makes no sense, because then they just come back and the leases are already made and we never get any not even us. It's the neighbors who never get any relief from 5 or 6 students living in these these houses next to them and parking all over the front lawns.
So listen, it's my understanding, I've not seen the letter. It's my understanding, though, that it dates back years, okay? So you're talking about going back and changing a condition of approval that was incorporated into approval that dates back years. I mean, and isn't the real issue the fact that there are property owners in town that are violating a zoning regulation? Does the issue lie with Quinnipiac? I mean, Quinnipiac is assisting us by giving a list of students who, are using North Haven addresses as their contact as a residence address. But the issue is an issue that you have with property owners who are renting to too many unrelated persons. And ultimately, my sense, I mean, the last time that this issue was visited with me, and I'm aware of the fact that Laura's been attempting to make contact with them, but, the last time we had a discussion about the list, I think there were a few properties of concern ultimately, and one of them turned out to be a non-issue. And then there were a couple of others that bore investigation, and I know at least on one of those that contact was made with one of the property owners, because I think there were two property owners who were absent property owners. And so, I think that, I mean, you're raising a Blakesley address. One of the things that concerns me right now is we do have a lot of property owners who have children, and in many instances, probably multiple children who are home and taking virtual classes. So, I think if, you see a property where it appears that, there are a number of vehicles from out of state, the address should be passed to Laura, and Laura needs to go and do her typical investigation to figure out, because, there's other things that we do besides just knocking on the door. And I'm not
I'm not
going to tell you what we do, because
but let me just say something.
Yeah.
Quinnipiac is assisting us because they are required to assist us. That was the condition of approval. So they're not doing us a favor. They're giving us what they are supposed to give us. And Laura runs into people that tell her, no, there aren't 3 people there, so she needs proof. And if they've registered the university, she's got some proof that there's actually people there. And the circumstances that I'm being told about are not where somebody's kids are home. There's where like 4 cars there from New York State. That's not the people's kids. They're from New York State. There's cars from New York, New Jersey, wherever they're from. And so we need to get some information that she can then go to the homeowners. And I agree with you about this. Enforcement is our problem. When we find out about it, we need to enforce it. And I think it's happening more. I know several places that sure look to me like it's Quinnipiac students. I could be wrong. That's why I want this information from Quinnipiac, because that's most likely where they're from. They could be from UNH or Yale, wherever. Who the heck knows? But they're the only ones who have to tell us. So I just want to be sure they don't ignore us, because that's what happened the last time we went down this road. They ignored us for a long time, and it wasn't until we got Laura to send us a ZEO report. So Lord, they can't just ignore us. That's not on the table. If they just ignore us, then we should sanction them. I'm not saying it's Quinnipiac's fault. We let them move into this town. These are off-campus people. They're adults. It's not their problem. But they have to give us the information so that we can do something with it. That's my point, and that's why I've been bothering Laura to get it. So I'm uncomfortable and unhappy that I get a thing that says I got in touch with them and they didn't bother to respond. That's unacceptable to me.
So at this point, what I'm hearing is that you would like me to intercede before the deadline and call as counsel to the commission and explain that it is unacceptable that she should again attempt to make a prefatory ask so that she gets the list on time with no response, no assurances that that's actually going to occur, and remind them that the condition was imposed pursuant to a special permit being granted to them. That's what you're asking me to do. I have no problem doing that. The other thing I will say to you that if again, I'm hearing a lot of angst about this, copying me on a written communication to the zoning enforcement officer. If you send an email, if you're concerned about a particular property, there are some properties that we've investigated that are, repeat offenders in terms of noticing that they have a number of out-of-state plates. In addition, of course, that there are many on Blight that have a number of unregistered vehicles, right?
Yeah.
But we often are looking at those properties again because there's other related issues, and oftentimes, we've got Blight issues as a result of tenancy. So if you copy me, again, I have certain means that I use to do my own investigation, and I'm happy to do that.
My point with Quinnipiac, if they said to Laura, listen, if they responded and said, we'll get it to you by the 30th, or even we're going to get it to you late, at least that's a response.
Yes.
Response at all is unacceptable.
Jennifer, we've talked about this thing enough. Let's go to Laura Jim, let's go to Laura and give her a shot to go be very firm with them. Next month, we'll talk about this, get it on the table.
No, I'm comfortable. Let Jennifer, they'll actually, if she says she's counsel for the commission, I think she's more likely to get a response. Laura's going to send them another letter, to be honest with you. I get it. And that
maybe she will, but maybe she won't. But Jennifer, I mean, if you think you want to take the ball and run with this now, then you go ahead and volunteer to do this.
And she knows how to do it. They're not late. I get it. They're not late. So you can't call them up and say, listen, you're in trouble, because they're not late. But I don't want to wait until they are late for them to just let them know. We want the stuff, and we're not kidding about it.
This is Teresa Ranciano-Vili. I think what I'm hearing from our town council, or look, she and I have discussed this issue before. You know, I don't know whether it's a town ordinance or whether this board can discuss what we do. I know that no matter what the zoning enforcement officer does, they have no finding ability. They have no ability
to different problem.
Or stop doing what they're doing. Yeah. So do we want to come up and there's plenty of things out there to help. There's tools out there to help us deal with this. You know, I don't know how this commission feels about it, but I think that, you know, we have it happen more and more and more. There's so many houses that are being sold to people who are just renting, especially up the street. Bradley Street is pretty much inundated, and so is the other side of town. So I don't know, do we want to discuss possibilities of how we might go forward with some other regulations?
Yes, but not before I have dinner.
Yeah, but okay. Well, let's get something nailed down here. What are you gonna do here now?
I think Jennifer gets in touch with Quinnipiac.
Jennifer,
I know who to call.
You want to take that?
I will do that. I will undertake that. Okay. Absolutely.
Very good. Thank you. That's the end of that. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, a second?
Vern, I'll second that.
Okay, Jennifer?
You don't need me to take a vote. All in favor is fine.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you so much, everyone. You got a lot of work done.
Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
The preceding program is brought to you in part through a grant from the town of North Haven. Watch town meetings or other videos on demand at nhtv.com.